Hello! Today I will be continuing my look at the shmups found in UFO 50. And in my last video I talked about Star Wars Spear, which was this very fast-paced, hectic, vertically scrolling shoot 'em up. And today we'll be looking at something very different. So Caramel is a very kind of old school horizontal style shmup in the vein of something like Gradius or Parodius. And what that means is, tempo is pretty slow and there's a big emphasis on like terrain and different kinds of obstacles instead of just, dodging bullets, and hitboxes are big and all those kinds of things. And the main kind of gimmick, or rather the gameplay feature here, is a camera shot. So you charge up this camera shot, which you can use to take a photo of enemies or the terrain or something, and it can be used in multiple ways. You can use it to kind of slow down enemies, you can drop turrets from the ceiling, you can uncover secrets in the terrain, so that's pretty cool. And spoilers, I didn't like this game that much, though I did enjoy just clearing it. But what that means is I just did kind of a survival clear, but I believe there is kind of there is depth found in the scoring mechanics, because the way that you can kind of have to choose when to use the camera shots and how you chain enemies and how you get the charge shot back, because it recharges by itself, but you can also collect these like orbs or like small crystals that recharge it instantly. So I believe if you're into if you like routing these kinds of games, I think you could get a lot out of it. But since I'm not really like the old school like horizontal style shoot 'em up isn't really my thing. I'm more about like the hectic bullet dodging instead of like this methodical routing and the slow pace. So I just went for the survival clear, but I did go for the what's in UFO 50 called the cherry clear, or like cherry challenge, which means like doing the not just clearing the game but doing some kind of extra thing. And in Star Wars Spear it was a like high score requirement, and in Caramel you need to defeat the true last boss, and you get to the true last boss if you uncover 3 secrets in the like each of the main levels of the game. What that means is that you have to take a photo of a certain spot which uncovers the letters UFO, and then you play to the end and you get the true last boss. And I spent like a little over an hour on this game, and I think that was an hour well spent, and I do recommend checking the game out if you're into like more this kind of methodical, slow-paced shoot 'em ups. For me it was kind of a nice kind of a plunge into a subgenre that I don't play very much, but it also kind of reminded why I maybe don't play them that much, because I don't know, just like the kind of movement speed of your ship is just so slow. I don't know, just the game feel like isn't quite there for me, and dodging bullets is very risky, and that's what attracts me to shoot 'em ups, like going to those barrages of bullets and just kind of magically weaving through. And you can do this in this game, but yeah, it's not Danmaku, it's not bullet hell, but still fun snack of a game. And again, there seems to be that scoring depth if that's something that you enjoy. So I guess that's it for the kind of general impressions, introductions, and let's get into the run. So as I said in the introduction, this is not a scoring run, but I do a little bit of kind of extra play, or like engaging a little bit with the Polaroid mechanic here at the start, just for fun. And as you can see, you can kind of chain enemies to get scoring bonuses or freeze them in place. So I do think that this camera shot thing is a pretty cool mechanic, and also the way that you can, use these little crystals to recharge your shot quickly. And I think you could have a lot of fun with planning out your route this way, but I'm just going for survival. Not least because I think if you die in this game, it resets your score, which is crazy. It's like, what were they thinking? Like, people complain about like no miss bonuses in cave games, but this is just on another level. But yeah, I really ended up enjoying like these kind of obstacle courses in this game actually, because like the feel of the dodging doesn't feel that good to me, because, you know, again, because your ship is so slow, but the terrain is pretty cool. And here you just saw me take a photo of a red enemy, and there's a red enemy in each of the 3 main stages, and if you take a photo of this enemy, you get a wrench, which heals you, because in this game you have a hit point, or like you can take 1 hit, and then if you take a second hit you die, but if you grab a wrench, it heals you. I really enjoyed this mid-boss because because it shoots out these bullet hell-like bullet barrages, so that's always fun to dodge. And as you saw there, like I used the Polaroid mechanic to slow down the boss to deal some extra damage. And here you can see like me taking photos of these turrets and other things that are stuck to walls, and that makes them drop down, which is again a pretty cool mechanic. And here I'm going to uncover the secret letter U, because again we're going for the true last boss ending, and that means that we have to uncover a secret letter in each of the 3 main stages. You know, what's the deal with the letters in the shmups in UFO 50? Here we're at the first boss, and the bosses are actually pretty fun, and as you can expect, you need to take a photo of the boss, and that reveals kind of their weak spots or makes them vulnerable. That was a really bad dodge. I'm really not accustomed to playing with ships that are this slow, so I end up making like kind of dumb mistakes during this run. But yeah, I really enjoy this boss fight with how the bullets kind of crisscross here. Like there's not that many bullets around, but you really need to kind of keep track of a lot of things at once. So not super difficult, but engaging. And that's always a nice combo, where you have stuff to do, but it's not super overwhelming. Yeah, and I just got a 1 up there, so the game is pretty generous with the extents. I don't know the scores that you need to get for extents, but it's you do get a nice amount of extra lives during the run, and spoilers, I will be using all of my extra lives to clear this game, but more on that at the end. So between the 3 main stages you get these kind of asteroid rush stages, which are very different and not super fun to me, because I think for this kind of gameplay I would really prefer a little kind of the ship would be like kind of a little faster. So though it actually kind of reminds me of Darius 1 with the kind of extra wide horizontal screen. They're okay, but the star of the game for me is really kind of the terrain and the obstacles and all that stuff. Here you really need to be mindful of the enemies that appear from the top and bottom of the screen. There's kind of a tail before they appear, and because it's really easy to kind of stay like to ram yourself into them if you're not keeping track of where they are about to appear. So yeah, that was a kind of a breezy snack of a stage between the main events. So here, as you can see, these ghosts are kind of, for the most part, invulnerable until they become visible, but you can use your camera mechanic to damage them. And I really like the mine carts in this level, so it's basically Dire Joe Stage 4. But yeah, with the way they move, the patterns, it makes it really interesting. Something fun that you can do in this section is you get these trains that you can destroy, or you can use your camera shots to stop them and freeze them in place. And you really want to take care of the trains in this part, because otherwise the train is going to be spewing like lots and lots of bullets that are hard to dodge, because dodging isn't that easy in this game. I also kind of like how the game kind of encourages you to be kind of aggressive, because to destroy enemies, to get those crystals, to recharge your camera shots. So it's a nice incentive to kind of go out there and destroy as many enemies as you can. And here we have the red enemy again. I'm going to take a photo of it to reveal the wrench. So that's nice. And we're at the mid-boss, and here I'm going to do something really clumsy. So usually you would take photos of this mid-boss to freeze it in place and make it go to the right a little bit, but here I need to save up my camera shots to take a photo of the letter F, and I position myself into a really bad spot and I end up dying, and dying resets you to the start of the stage. So I thought what I would do in this run is kind of speed up, fast forward the sections where I need to make my way back to the spot where I died, so you don't need to look at all that stuff all over again. But yeah, when you use the camera shot and on this enemy, there's a lot more room to maneuver and it's a lot easier. So it's kind of nice that the game allows you to that it remembers that you uncovered the secret letters, so you don't need to do it in one run only. So yeah, you can use those extra lives. So this is going to be a pretty hectic section, and because practicing this game kind of sucks because you always need to kind of, if you make a mistake, a die, you go back to the beginning of the stage, and it's such a kind of a slog to get back to the spot that you want to practice. So I just kind of wing it here without much routing. And we are at the boss, and this is a super fun one. Really enjoyed this one because you need to keep the place where you can dodge is also, you have these tracks, so you need to kind of keep track of the mine carts, and the boss shoots out this special attack, this green orb, and you'll see what happens. Yeah, so the bullets kind of go along the tracks, so you need to be careful not to stay on the tracks when they are on the screen. So it's kind of a fun thing to keep track of and something to be kind of mindful of, while also kind of collecting the crystals and taking a photo of the boss and damaging the boss. So again, the bosses, maybe the kind of navigating the levels and the bosses are the highlights of the game for me, for sure. Now we're at the second asteroid stage, and this is the stage that I practiced the least. So this is just like going to be like reflex play, and not very good play, but I think I get through it without losing a life. So we have these red missiles in the stage, and the game nicely warns us about them appearing with the exclamation marks. And these enemies, pretty hard to avoid. I think you want to kind of route this out a little bit, so you won't need to be doing this stupid dodging that I'm doing here and taking hits. But I think that was the kind of the most difficult part of this level, like the end part, not too bad. Yeah, I think you just need to dodge these missiles, and there's really not that much to dodge. It's very easy, but fun to do. Yeah, and this is a gotcha. You don't need to do anything, just kind of stay to the right side of the screen and you'll be safe. And so we have the last main level of the game. I think this is my favorite. There's a lot of cool kind of level and kind of geometry design, I guess, here. And mercifully, the letter is in a very easy place that you can uncover right at the start of the level. Yeah, and watch out for those small green dinosaurs or lizards or whatever they are. Yeah, I guess this is Dino Planet, so they are dinosaurs, because they're going to jump at you very quickly and they shoot out these revenge bullets. Something interesting about this stage is you have these lasers that you need to pass. If you shoot at them, they're going to fire bullets at you, so you kind of want to stop shooting for a while and then again start destroying the enemies. And yeah, these green bullets. I think I played a little safe here, and that wasn't such a good idea because I'm late here, and then the enemies that appear from the right kind of, yeah, they hit me. That's okay because we're going to get a wrench soon. And just FYI, the walls here don't damage you, which is really nice. I tried to avoid them at first, but you don't really need to do it. here I'm going to do slightly, because I messed up destroying those enemies that follow me around. I ended up taking kind of a dumb route, and here I'm just kind of flying all over the place. Yeah, I really love how you can drop the turrets from the ceiling with the camera shot. That's a really nice kind of touch. And here I again take kind of a bad path, so I need to be a little careful here. Again, using my camera shot to rid myself of these enemies, and this is a tricky part, and I'm going to mess this up. So I'm way too slow here. I try like kind of maybe freezing those enemies here, because yeah, these enemies can kind of go through lasers. So if you take too much time, they're going to end up trapping you. So we'll have a fast forward here again. And here I thought I just show this. This time I do it better. I destroy these enemies that follow you around, and I take a better route through the stage, and I use my camera shots kind of a better way. So this is much easier than what I did during my first attempt. Like for example, here I destroy these enemies with the camera shot, so I don't need to worry about them at all. And I will also play kind of more aggressively during this section, because I don't want to get trapped again. So here I just wait and then just go past through all of this. So you don't want to stay in the center, because you get those bullets. So I think that's the best way to get through that section easily. And this place gives me like Contra vibes, like Contra from the NES, with these like skulls that appear from the top and bottom. And this is a super fun boss fight. So you first destroy these two, I guess they're like eggs or something. And then we get the Dino boss, which is fun to do. So I really like the design on this guy. It's just, I don't know, the double head with the exposed brain, which is of course kind of a reference to something like Radius with the brain final bosses. So this one has several different attacks. There's some fun dodging that you can do here, and again you need to take a photo to kind of expose the weak spots. Here I think I'm going to take a hit, because again I'm not accustomed to playing like, yeah, I should have dodged down, not to the left, because well, with how slow your ship is, you can't really outrun this boss. Yeah, not too difficult, but really fun to do. Oh my god, the sad face on the boss. So I think if you don't go for the cherry clear, or if you don't uncover the UFO letters, this is where the game ends. But since I got the secret letters, we're going to do the true final boss. So this is it, and this is my first time playing this, because this you can't play the true final boss in practice mode. So this is just my first time in covering it and figuring out what to do. Again, you need to take a photo, and then once you take a photo, the snake will kind of follow you around, and you need to hit the center. And this was really this was really tricky with me, because again, because of the slow speed, you kind of need to bait out the snake in a particular way. And then you have these pieces of toast coming from the top of the bottom. They are so nasty, and you need to keep track of those, and again wait for that cell. So yeah, this is just me kind of doing this boss fight over and over, trying to figure out the best way to avoid taking damage. And I don't think there is kind of like a trick to this or anything. You just kind of need to get into the groove and practice this. And I was kind of, because I think I had like 3 extra lives, so I was like, I've got this, but then yeah, I'm on my last life, and I really don't want to kind of start all over from the beginning. So I was really nervous playing this, and I'm like, okay, let's do this. Let's play real carefully here. So yeah, baiting out the snake and keeping track of the pieces of toast. Taking my time here, not rushing too much. Basically playing it safe. Yeah, I don't know if you, because often in shmups, if you take too much time, the bosses can maybe get like extra attacks, or because they want to get you off the machine, like in the arcade setting. But I think here it seems to be static, so no need to rush. Just wait for the kind of opportunity. Yeah, it took a hit there, and I was like, oh my god, I'm on my last life, my last hit point, and then it happened, and I cleared caramel. So as I said in the intro, not a huge fan of these like methodical horizontal old school shoot 'em ups, and this game kind of reinforced like why I don't really enjoy them that much. Like there are elements that I like in this game. I enjoy the camera shot stuff, like uncovering the secrets, going through the levels, and the bosses were pretty cool, but just the kind of general feel of dodging, just not quite what I look for in a shmup. And also kind of what attracts me to shmups is the kind of that exhilarating feeling of dodging lots of bullets, and you don't really like get it in these kinds of games, because you often in like, I actually played some Parodius like a couple of weeks ago, and it often feels like in those games it's like the game is really easy for a while, and then you hit a kind of point where you really need to be know what you're doing, or you're just going to instantly die, and you get into a kind of a stuck in a like checkpoint hell or something. And I don't know, not my favorite thing, but since this game not that difficult, not super long, it was still fun to play through. So yeah, a kind of cautious recommendation, I guess. I do like Star Wars Beer better, but that's just like, my shmupping sensibilities, I guess. I'm more into the kind of hectic stuff rather than the kind of more slow-paced methodical stuff. Yeah, that's Caramel. Thanks for watching, and next time we'll do Seaside Drive.